the military leadership in India, as far as armed forces is concerned, the military leadership is revered, worshipped, because the relationship between officers and men is such that in case of any, the greatest problems are also faced first by officers on their chest, and only then the others, the soldiers, are allowed to come forward. The officers lead from front, and so is the case for soldiers. Soldiers would like to place their chest ahead in case a bullet comes. A relationship of a very different kind exists between the officers and the men. And when right at about 12:45, when we heard about this news, actually it shook us, because after all, he has been the first CDS, and a lot of hope has always been there. The hopes and aspirations of each and every rank of the armed forces actually are being met at the highest level by the CDS. So we were really shocked. It was a personal loss. If we look into the sequences of events, today morning he started from Delhi in the Embraer aircraft, and it's a fixed wing aircraft by which he went. He reached, it's an aircraft of VIP squadron. We have set precedents of checks, rechecks and rechecks before takeoff, lands at the Sulur Air Base, and from there he takes off in Mi-17. As you've just mentioned, total 14 crew, 5 Air Force crew, 9 passengers. And you've mentioned about General Bipin Rawat, Mrs. Madhulika Rawat, Brigadier Leader, Lieutenant Colonel Harjinder Singh, and the security staff. Remember, we have to remember that Mi-17 V5 is quite an upgraded version of Mi-17. Yes. It has twin engine, and a VVIP sortie means a lot of efforts. I have very, very personal memories with General Rawat. General Rawat was the chief of the army staff. At that time, we had very close interaction. He was very, very, during that meeting, he was very passionate. He listened to me. I had some suggestions, and he immediately looked at those suggestions. Sometimes a freak suggestion coming from somewhere down the ladder, if it is accepted with open arms and executed in time, I think it's the fortune of the organization that you have such leaders on top. So I feel that individually he has been a very good military leader. Personally, he has been a very good senior, and he has looked after the hopes and aspirations of the uniform very well.
Would you like to talk about some aspects of his nature that stood out for you?
Yes. Within a very, very short time, because when you look at the post of CDS, it was created after a long time. Now there are challenges of any new mission. You will have to take some decisions which may be popular. You have to take some decisions which may not be popular. भारतीय सेना एक परंपरागत सेना है, एक ट्रेडिशनल फोर्स है. वहां पर जब आप किसी भी डिसीजन को परंपरा से हट करके लेते हैं, तो एक गजब सा आत्मविश्वास चाहिए और एक अजब सा गर्व चाहिए. और इसमें ये दोनों खूबियां जनरल रावत में रही हैं, और शायद इसीलिए इन्हें देश का पहला CDS बनाया गया.
Did you ever have any personal interaction with his wife? Do you have any personal memories that you can share?
Yeah, I do have. In fact, since I've been doing the Army Day Parade and the Republic Day Parade commentary for last 13 years, so on many occasions, I did have very, very close interaction with General Rawat, as well as with Mrs. Madhulika Rawat. And she was very affectionate and very, very good to me, to my wife, to other officers. And she had eye for detail. So much so that I remember that on, I think, few years back, I was doing a function at Army House. And this is a function on 15th of January. It is in the afternoon, where the Honorable Prime Minister also comes, Honorable Raksha Mantri also comes, and it's a in-house function at the chief's house. And I was not having a glass of water somewhere close to the place where I had to speak. So she was just taking the last round before the VVIPs came. So she asked me that, Colonel JK, are you looking for a hot glass of water? I said, yes, ma'am. I was actually desperately looking for one, because I thought throat is my index of speech, and I need to be little okay. So she could spot it before I could mention about it. So I feel that if you've got some people who've got eye for detail and compassion for fellow officers, I think this army will continue to serve the nation and be the ideal of rest of the nation always and every time.
Yes, so they say army wives are no less than the men in uniform. Just before a while back, when we started, you mentioned that you did have personal interactions with the General Rawat, and that you made some suggestions that were incorporated by him. Could you give us more details about that?
Yes, it was a suggestion about the commentary, the way we relate to events in parade. My suggestion was that earlier the commentary in the military parades used to be, we used to only speak about the action which is taking place at various places. Like in case you are turning left, so I will say कि अब parade commander बाएं जा रहे हैं, अब ये समीक्षा क्रम में आ रहा है, and then things like that. So I said that, sir, we need to put meaning to it. And my suggestion is that in all military forums, we should put in more and more of these connections with each event. When I say कि अभी ये पूरा ग्रुप बाएं से दाहिने जा रहा है, तो उसकी जगह पे अगर हम कहें कि अभी ये सारे जवान एक श्वास, एक कदम, एक बोल जा रहे हैं, ऐसा लगता है जैसे सहस्त्र भुजाओं को किसी अदृश्य धागे ने बांध रखा है। यह धागा है देशभक्ति का, देश पर सब कुछ करने का, सर्वस्व अर्पण करने का. So I said, sir, we should try and pump in more of these, because after every ceremonial, it is not that people outside are being affected positively. Even the man who is there, who is standing there, अगर उसके अंदर वर्दी का पहनने का गर्व और भी ऊंचा होता है, तो अगली बार वो गोली और तेजी से चलाएगा और दुश्मन पर संहार करते समय बिल्कुल एक सेकंड भी नहीं गंवाएगा. And he really liked it, and he said that I will pass it to all ranks in my own way.
That's a great anecdote, sir. Keeping with, talking about General Rawat's family and the man that was in the uniform, do you know about what was his personal interaction with the Jawans like, if you witnessed it?
Yeah. He was liked by the Jawans quite a lot. He could connect with them very well, and the Jawans also connected with them, with him very well. He had the ability to be a general to a general and a Jawan to a Jawan. वो एक सिपाही से एक सिपाही की तरह मिलते थे और एक जनरल से एक जनरल की तरह मिलते. तो ये जिस व्यक्ति में ऐसा व्यक्तित्व, जिसकी विशेषता ऐसी हो कि वो अट्टालिका के साथ, स्काई स्क्रैपर के साथ उसी ऊंचाई से मिले, और अगर समुद्र की गहराई से मिलना हो तो उसका भी आलिंगन वो उसी तरीके से कर सके, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये उसकी बहुत बड़ी विशेषता है, और वो हर क्षेत्र में बहुत ही लोकप्रिय होगा. He was very, very compassionate, very, very affectionate, and he could mingle with anyone and everyone.
You're familiar with helicopter crashes. These are rare, but when they happen, can you explain why they happen? Because what I'm seeing is that this crash took place moments after takeoff. So, क्या दुर्घटना हो सकती है जिसकी वजह से ये crash हुआ?
Yes, I have a certain amount of aviation background. My daughter is also a flyer in Air India Express, so I'm keenly observing it. Now, what I want to say is, in such cases, you need to see there are certain external conditions, there are certain internal conditions. You have to see as to when he took off from Sulur, he was going to Wellington, a short distance. However, in that distance, you have to see the weather conditions, you have to see the side currents, wind currents of that level, with degree of visibility. And normally in mountainous area, there is a problem of high gust of wind, which are even in a very confined area. And sometimes it may be disorienting also, along with the degree of visibility, which is on the lower side. So one is the external condition. The other thing is the internal condition. By and large, the VVIP and that too Mi-7 twin engine V5, we feel high degree of safety in this. However, the technical reasons by which probably we will have to go into the details with respect to the fuel system, with the respect of the air system, as to in case there has been some technical failure of so that the overall buoyancy has got disturbed. I think we leave the technicalities to the people who will do the court of inquiry. I think that will be a better thing.
All right. Yes, sir. But as you say, crashes with the kind of make this helicopter was a modern one. Do you believe that these were more technical? Some technical error happened rather than a man-made lapse, because the crew is obviously the most trained on these kind of flights?
I always feel that, see, firstly, anyone who is taking the CDS, be rest assured, individually, he has gone through large number of checks. Yes. The best of pilots will be chosen for such prestigious mission. Armed forces, they will put the best foot forward. The best crew, the best engine, the best aircraft, the best of conditions will be offered to our CDS, to military leadership. It happens with the aircrafts of the army commanders and above. It has to go through series of changes. So I still feel there are greater chances of technology failing. The man is made of steel and he will never fail. Man in uniform is actually made of steel. He will never fail leadership. He will never fail combat. He will never fail the aspirations and hopes of the country.
सर, अगर अभी थोड़ा विस्तार से आप ये बताएं कि सीडीएस का जो रोल है वो क्या है? It is a very important role. It's about coordination between the three services, and of course there was, I mean, it happened after a long time, and it was there was something that was missing, and that vacuum was plugged by CDS Rawat. तो आप अगर बता सकते हैं कि रोल एग्जैक्टली क्या है, किसका महत्व क्या है?
मैं व्यूअर्स के लिए बताना चाहूंगा कि CDS is the first link of the forces with the government. अगर आप प्रोटोकॉल वाइज भी देखें तो उन्हें ऐसे स्तर पे रखा गया था जहां की एक तरफ डिफेंस सेक्रेटरी हो और वहीं पे CDS भी हो, और दोनों के कार्य को एक साथ बड़े अच्छे सामंजस्य के साथ और प्रधानता देते हुए CDS को, और उसके बाद चीजों को आगे ले जाया गया। कई बार सेना की कुछ विशेषताएं ऐसी होती हैं जो एक सैनिक के द्वारा बताना, समझाना और कई जगहों पर महत्वपूर्ण तौर पर प्रभाव के साथ लेकर के जाना जरूरी होता है। You would have heard about the losses in communication. Sometimes we have to be in the forwardmost trench to understand the psychological aspect of a Jawan who is facing the bullets of the enemy. अगर हम बिना फायर महसूस किए हुए, बिना गोली बारी के दौर से गुजरे हुए अगर हम गोली के बारे में बात करें तो शायद कुछ चीजें आप आगे तक नहीं ले जा सकते हैं, कुछ लिमिटेशंस होती हैं। ये इन्हीं सब चीजों को सोच करके एक CDS का एक पोस्ट क्रिएट किया गया, और मुझे बड़ी खुशी है कि ये बहुत समय से इसकी प्रतीक्षा हो रही थी और इसे आगे लाया गया और इसे इस समय स्थापित किया गया। वैसे में इन्होंने एक जरूरत होती है कोऑर्डिनेट करने की बहुत सी चीजों को। आसमान से भी ऊंचा इरादा रखने वाले वायु सैनिक, जमीन से भी ज्यादा मजबूत इरादे रखने वाले थल सेना और सागर की लहरों पर शासन करने वाले नौसेना को, तीनों को अगर एक जगह पर मिलाना है, तीनों की इच्छा शक्ति को राष्ट्र के सृजन में और दुश्मन के संहार में अगर समर्पित करना है, तो जरूरी हो जाता है कि आप उसे एक बिंदु दें, 1 पॉइंट दें, जहां से वो आगे चीजों को ले चले। और अगर आपको मालूम होगा, कई लड़ाइयों में यह चीज बाहर आई थी कि हम तीनों का सामंजस्य बहुत ही, तीनों फोर्सेस का coordination should be seamless, and only then we will be able to achieve maximum efficiency. So it's a drive for efficiency. It's a drive for enhancing the combat potential of the entire forces of Army, Air Force, and Navy. And it's a very, very positive step, a step which was inevitable. And I'm happy that the government has actually gone ahead and done it.
So would you say that at this point in time, when there is a disturbances, that there are, hostilities in the northern frontiers, along with Pakistan, we already have hostilities, then Ladakh issue had cropped up, the border there has been hostile. So do you think at this point in time, the CDS's role assumed more significance?
Of course, I totally agree with you. Your perception about the criticality of participation at this critical juncture is very much right. You're very, very right that the participation level as well as presence, it's a matter of experience also. The kind of experience which he had, if you look at his service profile, the CDS work profile, service profile is quite centric to counterinsurgency. He has had probably in every rank, he has had time and tenure in J&K or in Northeast, and therefore he has actually risen from the rigors of the combat. And that's why we are expecting, even now we are expecting that the best results can come through his, it will be the crop of his brain. So I personally feel that, yes, his participation at this time is most warranted.
If you could take us through some of the career highlights of General Bipin Rawat, some of his outstanding achievements.
Okay, what offhand I can say is that he has been the operational aspects. We are aware that he has had a very, very fine tenure in J&K, and he did extremely well. His ability to balance between the combat as well as the goodwill projects. Well, in counterinsurgency, you have to ensure that there is something, what they say, the iron fist and velvet gloves. So, भारतीय सेना की सबसे बड़ी रवानी आग के संग आग बन, पानी के संग पानी. So you have to be very, very ruthless to the enemy and very, very soft to your own awam. And that ability was there in General Rawat. And General Rawat could balance, when I'm talking of J&K, there is equal focus on annihilation of the terrorists. There is equal focus on creation of assets so that the support base of terrorists, if any, that gets diminished to the lowest level. So कई ऑप सद्भावना के प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं. मैंने अपने सैन्य काल में दो अलग अलग तरह के लीडरशिप देखे. एक लीडरशिप किलो फोर्स, एक लीडरशिप विक्टर फोर्स. किलो फोर्स के जो जनरल थे वो, he was a para commando, only going for shoots, only going for ensuring total annihilation of terrorists. And I had another model with the GOC Victor Force, who was totally into Operation Sadbhavna. He won the hearts of people. तो कई बार दिल के रास्ते से वो दिल तक पहुंचे. और दूसरे जो कमांडर थे, उन्होंने बंदूक की बैरल से, गोलियों से दुश्मन का नाश कर और तब अवाम का दिल जीता. रास्ते अलग अलग थे, मंजिल एक थी। तो मैं ये बताना चाहता हूं कि जनरल रावत में दोनों ही पक्ष बराबर तौर पे था। वे कठिन भी थे और नरम भी थे, कठिन दुश्मनों के लिए, नरम अवाम के लिए। तो ये जो बैलेंस है, ये बैलेंस बहुत कम लोगों में होता है और शायद यही कारण रहा है कि वो इतने सफल भी रहे और इतने लोकप्रिय भी रहे।